Good morning, Abigail Albert. Good to see you. So early for you. Good morning, Abigail Albert. Good to see you.
All right, we are recording and we're streaming.
So exciting.
There you go.
Are we starting a half a minute early?
Well, that's your call.
Oh, such pressure. I wonder what to do.
Here's your God Call with Reverend Bill.
A friend of mine was talking to me about a recipe for disaster. She was talking about the way that events were coming together so that a particular activity was going to end unpleasantly. And I realized that I also know about a recipe for success. And in a lot of ways, the ingredients are very similar. The intention that we have and understanding what it is that we want to create allows us to bring the existing ingredients together in a way that brings about the opportunity for success. You are a recipe for success. The ingredients are at hand. So open yourself to something fabulous and get busy mixing.
Bright in here. I light up the world with my light. 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 And guess what? You light up the world with your light. 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 As a community, we light up the world with our light. 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 We light it up, 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 we light it up. Light up the world, we light it up, 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 we light it up. Light up the world, I light up the world with my light. I light up the world with my light. I light up the world with my light. I light up the world with my light.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Amy Steinberg. It is wonderful to have you here today. With the cool new pride shades that you're wearing and all that. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a delight to see you here this morning. You guys know the rules on Zoom. And by the way, I love that we're able to meet on Zoom because we can have world-class talent Zoom in and join us when it would be inconvenient otherwise. And just a quick shout out to Reverend Dr. Abigail Albert, who's in San Diego and is up very early, but is pre-gaming. She's going to be doing the talk for us, I think October 20th, and she wanted to refamiliarize herself. So that is some homework. Thank you for that. That's wonderful to have you here. So you know the rules, keep yourself on mute except when we're going to be sharing. And let's go ahead and do a little cacophony group sharing now. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and repeat after me. Love is at hand.
Love is at hand.
I open to love.
I am
Open to
Open
love.
to love.
Divine goodness is here.
Divine
Divine
Goodness is
Goodness
here.
here.
And I let it be my truth.
And I let it be my truth.
My truth.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Okay, mash your mute button one more time as I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. Around here, we believe that there is one. one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we're each using that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. The way we like to say it is your new life begins with a new thought. If you have extra electronic devices that will distract you in the next hour, go ahead and turn them on shush, or put them in the next room, or whatever it is that you do so that you can be focused on being present with the group and the activity that you're with. I am Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today, as mentioned, is the amazing Amy Steinberg, covering for Susan Catania, who had a health challenge come up. And I was just delighted that Amy, who never has time to do anything for us on Sunday mornings, had time to do something for us on Sunday morning. Yay! So, and we're actually between visits. I keep on going over to Unity Village in Missouri to see Amy. We were together in July for the INTA Congress, and we're going to be together again next month for the Anton annual retreat. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Our practitioners today are Jesus Baez, RSCP, who's going to do the meditation in a little bit, and Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, who is going to lead us in our opening prayer, because if you haven't got a prayer, you haven't got a prayer.
We always have a prayer. At least at New Thought Philly we do. Good morning, everyone. Let us take a breath, settle in, and remember why we're here, at least here in this moment at celebration. There is only one, that one mind, one love, one intelligence that creates and empowers and enlivens everything. Everything. The world is infinite. Life is infinite. That power is infinite. And because we are made from it and as it, and it is in us, we have that same infinite creative power. It's a lot to think about. But don't think about it. Just let that seep in. We are each and every one of us connected to that source and by that source to each other. I'm reminded that there are infinite possibilities in this life and this world that we share. We come together today to do that, to share that, to create more, to connect to it and allow it to flow through us and fill us, and let it spread out to the rest of the world that we share with everything else. So for everything that we bring here today, everything we share, everything we create, I allow it, I accept it, I claim it for each one here. I know that it fulfills us and then flows ever outwards to the rest of our world, because we create that vibration when we do that. And when we all have that same vibration and work on that same frequency, it can't help but grow and continue and flow and manifest. So for all of the words and the music and the inspiration, the love, the joy, the harmony that we create here today and share, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything we bring and everything we take away with us. So with gratitude, I release my word to the law and claim this for each one here, knowing it is so, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. And by the way, welcome to autumn. Summer ended at 8:43 Eastern, so a little less than 2 hours ago. I don't know if you're feeling any different, but we are wrapping up a season and starting another season. We're talking about tipping points. We're also talking about the way that we change our experience with our prayers. So the reason that we do a practical prayer is because it does something. It changes something. makes something different in our experience. And we like to get a chance to share those things. So I know we got a couple of folks who have a prayer work story that you'd like to share. If you have one, go ahead and wave your hand. Breen has one. I know I have one, but because I'm doing a talk about tipping point, I'm going to include it in the talk a little bit later on. So go ahead, Breen.
Yeah, so some folks know about our dog Jack. Jack is about 95 pounds of excitement and energy and love. And when we first got him, he was very, very reactive. And we got a neighbor across the street. It's a couple of boys who are now like they're middle schoolers, but they were younger then. And they wanted to play with him, and he would get super excited. And he grabbed a coat one time, and he grabbed the mom's glove one time while she was wearing it. And she always wants to pet Jack and say hi to Jack, and he always barks at her and lunges at her. Yesterday, I was walking Jack, and she got out of her car, and I was right in front of her house, and we were talking, and Jack just sat down right next to her and let her pet him. And then he wanted to walk up her steps and go in her house. And she was shocked and very pleasantly surprised that she got to pet Jack, because she always wants to pet Jack, but he never wants to have anything to do with her. And we've been doing a lot of prayer over the years for Jack, because there's a point where we thought we might not be able to keep him because he was just so reactive. But he's come a long way, baby.
A long way, baby. That's a great story. That's a great, and he learned another dog paradox is that the less energy he puts into being together with somebody, the more he gets to be together with somebody. Go figure. Joe.
So this is really silly, but it's what it represented to me. So I don't know if you can see these, my little tags that you use at the stores, the grocery store, the drugstore to, get your little discount, whatever. So I've had them for years, years and years and years, and I lost them recently. As you can see, I got them back. So I lost them, and I couldn't remember where. And I, oh God, and it always annoys me to put my phone number into the little machine instead of just scanning the tag. But at any rate, I happened to be in the PetSmart at Plymouth meeting for me the other day, and I said, oh, and I had the inspiration to ask about them, and there they were. And the backstory is I kept saying, they're not lost. You're going to find them. They're not lost. You will find them. And I've been saying that for like the past month. And so it is.
So it is. That's a great story. That's a great story. So Christine Joy has a story, and then Jane. I know Christine is in the practitioner class. So every time we start a practitioner class, there's at least one student who starts having stuff happen immediately. So Christine is our candidate this year.
Morning, guys. So, yeah, like Phil said, we started our class this week, which just getting to that point is a prayer work story, because I've been really excited about it. And I think I'm an A student when it comes to when it's been coming to staying mindful. And so I've experienced like instant manifestation with pretty much everything. So if I lost something, boom, I find it. I went to the dollar store and I got black lights for Halloween decorations, and I brought them home, and I thought I grabbed black lights, but I grabbed purple lights. So I couldn't get back to the dollar store that day. I went back the next day. I said a prayer about abundance and supply and resources to get the black lights, because they're like $1 at the $1.25 at the dollar store, $7 or $8 per bulb on Amazon. The next day I go back and I do a lot of digging, and I found the last 3 black lights, which was fun, because then Liam and I could
Yeah, and you did the digging
get
because you
rid.
knew they were there.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, wow. And it was like one, I was like, so cool. And then I found, and the second one was right next to that one. So it was like 2 out of 3. I need one more. And then I was just really calm. Like I wasn't thinking about it when I was doing it. But I actually found the last one, stuck in a thing. And I've prayed with people. They've come back to tell me about their prayer work stories. Um, it's really good. Like my life right now is a prayer work story. So I would say I'm definitely super manifesting. Little things, the big things. I got an email from AT&T saying, "Hey, you have a line that you never use and have been charged all these years for, and we're going to credit your account," which is great because phone bills are expensive. So,
That's awesome.
financial prosperity. So I could tell you guys totally all day about a lot of prayer work stories, but it works and it works. Excuse me. And it works. Thanks,
It
Ref.
works.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Christine. Jane.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay. So this is just kind of a follow-up for my son Max, who had been praying with Bill about getting a new job at SEPTA, which is our mass transit company here in Philadelphia. And to make a long story short, he interviewed for one position and he was very excited about it. And, he had to do a presentation and all these things. And when the day came and it was finished, he said, "I did horrible on it because I don't think I'm going to get offered the job." And the very next day he was going into work and his supervisor pulled him aside and she said, "Hey, Max, do you want to be transferred to this new position?" And it's not the one that he had interviewed for that he thought that he did so unwell with. And so to make a long story short, he is moving to this new position September 29th. He has a 10-week training program to operate and do all the training work in the yard, in the big yard there. And he's very excited about it. He said it's a better job than the one that he had initially interviewed for. So he's very happy. He is switching over to a great job that has the same pay with even more opportunities for overtime and stays with the same unions, keeps his pension, he keeps everything right in place and better hours. So he's very happy about
I love it.
that.
I love it. We pray for our perfect job and we interview for what we think is our perfect job and it sucks. And then suddenly the perfect job shows up right out of left field. I love when that happens. I love when that happens. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kazoo, is at the ready? It is time now for the announcements.
Okay. This autumnal information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. Sign up there for the weekly e-newsletter so we can keep in touch. Join our 15-minute meditations on Zoom. They happen twice every day and are inspiring, fun, and quick. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. The Practical Prayer podcast is Interrupting Karma. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Join in behind the scenes at the live recording session on Monday at 1 p.m. Beyond Limits is our introductory class to New Thought Principles. The fall session is on Thursday evenings beginning October 17th. It's transformational and open to all. Spiritual but not religious is part of our ongoing series on New Thought Principles and Practice. It's on Tuesday, October 22nd from 7 to 8 p.m. on Zoom and Insight Timer. Reverend Bill talks about connecting with our spiritual selves without rules or church supervision. Tune out the fear, tune in the vision. For 100 days leading up to the election, we are cultivating a special mindfulness practice to raise the vibration for all involved. To take part, text JOIN to the number on the website. Follow, subscribe, like, and share our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube, and join the 1902 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. We are always grateful for your financial support. You can make a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. We get together before the celebration to put the pieces in order. To join the joy, contact our volunteer coordinator. Next Sunday is online. It's the 5th Sunday Healing Celebration. Reverend Bill and the practitioners lead us in a deep and profound process to gain greater insight into our connection with Spirit. Bring your own candle, live music by the awesome Anna Barsniak. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Joe is available for a quick miracle and a minute prayer. And we'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And usually this is the time where we welcome our second-time visitors for coming back, a little gift and a blessing. And for our first-time visitors, we also have a lovely blessing. I'm not sure either of you, I know that you're not here for the first time, Amy, but it's your first time in a long time. And I think, Abigail, you've been here before as well. But we are going to welcome you as though you are the prodigal children coming back in. So everybody, you guys just receive. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together, feel some warmth, feel a little love, and share that love. You are the bright lights of God's love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for shining that light and sharing that love with us today. And welcome home. Amy's going to do another song for us, and while she does, go ahead and make eye contact with the people we're in community with, because community is important. Community is the way that we connect with each other. And even though we're on Zoom, we get to do that with people who are all over the North America at this point.
Now you know this one, so you're going to sing it with me. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Come on. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, wonderful, my wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. How about my life, my glorious life? Sing it with me one more time. Come on. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Come on. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life.
Thank you for singing. Thank you. There we go. Going to light the flames of faith now. And Scobie Mosley from Durham, North Carolina is going to lead us with the reading.
Good morning, everyone. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today is from the book New Thoughts for Today, which is the Anton anthology book, and it's going to be brought to us by Karen Judd.
The title of the reading today is Many Paths, and it opens with a Hindu proverb. There are hundreds of paths up the mountain, all leading to the same place. The only person wasting time is the one who runs around the mountain, telling everyone that his or her path is wrong. With so many paths to choose, fear held me in a space of spiritual confusion. One path still imposing from childhood, others promoting those more confident than I. Some promise hope while others promise fire for wrong choices. Unaware of my personal power to consciously connect with God, I opted to choose nothing, never considering that not choosing was but a murky, desolate choice in itself. Times move, hearts open, light shines inward, and the seduction of spiritual desire keeps knocking. Today I seek the only whispers of silence, allowing divine wisdom to be revealed. There is a myriad of sacred paths, each resulting in the same destination. Some are long and arduous. They circle us back to blocks we tried to walk around when we needed to break through. Some claim us until we seek only our silent devotion. Some go right, some go left, and some straight up. By virtue of our God-gifted power to connect in consciousness, we can see the direction perfect for us. One day we will all reach the mountaintop. We will be embraced by those who journeyed before us, and we will welcome others as their own path leads them to the top, where infinite clarity we will know we are one. In closing, the words are, I embrace my power and choose my perfect path.
What a perfect reading to set up this song. This song is on my latest CD, and it's called Ready to Let Go. And it's also perfect for this time of year. Growing up Jewish, it's the new year coming up. And it makes sense to me that the fall would be the beginning of a new time, letting go. So I wrote this song this time of year, a couple years ago. Sun shines through my window on an autumn afternoon. Leaves falling down as the wind blows. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm ready to start over. My heart can't take no more. I see myself, but don't know her. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I could be free, so I could be free. On a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go. Ooh, yeah. I'm looking to tomorrow, and I'm staying in the day. I gotta be here now, surrendering my sorrow. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I could be free, so I could be free. On a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know. I'm taking it slow because I know I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to grow. I'm on a spiral mountain, moving to the place where I can see the truth of me. Gotta hold my breath and take that leap so I could be free, so I could be free. On a midnight highway, headed to the sunrise, riding with my head high. I'm taking it slow because I know. Taking it slow cause I know. I'm taking it slow cause I know I'm ready to let go. To let go. Yeah. I'm letting go. I'm letting go.
Oh, thank you, Amy Steinberg. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is that the third pair of glasses you've been wearing since we started today?
I love glasses.
You do, and you sport them well. Thank you for being here. So everything was going along just fine, and then suddenly you've had that sort of experience in your life, I'm sure. Everything was going along just fine, and then suddenly something. So examples. My computer was working fine yesterday, and now it won't boot. I don't know what happened. The car won't start. I thought our relationship was going fine, but my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my spouse left. We had been best friends forever and ever and ever, and then I've now been ghosted or betrayed or whatever. Personal experience for me. A week ago, my big toe on my left foot started hurting to the point where it interfered with my activities, and it started like on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, and I couldn't do anything for 2 or 3 days, and it changed everything. And all of those are a tipping point. It goes along one way, and then something changes, and then it's different. You look at me, and when I was young, I had hair, and somewhere along the line there was a tipping point, and now I have a different look. And we all have examples of these things, of stuff was going along just fine, and then suddenly, whatever. And if you would like to put your own example into the chat, I will we'll give voice that and acknowledge, yes, that is something that happened, that is a transformation, that's a change where everything was going along just fine, and then we basically bear witness to each other, because that's part of life. That's one of those things that happens. And, you know, there's stories of divorce and death and loss. There are also stories of transformation. I was in despair, string of failures, and then suddenly a new job offer. Then suddenly I met this person. We heard a prayer work story about Max. Max is one of my favorite prayer work stories. He's now got a great new job opportunity, the company that he's wanted to work for and has been working for all of his adult life. He was miserable for a while because he was convinced that there was nobody in the world who wanted to be in a relationship with him. And it turns out that um, his now wife for a couple of years had been praying for him as well. And as soon as we started doing the prayer work, the transformation happened. I was in a state of despair. Nothing was going right. And then suddenly there's that transformation. And that's a tipping point. Those are always a tipping point. Just yesterday, a tree on my property was about to fall on my neighbor's house. Yeah, pricey, pricey, unhappy and pricey. I have a cute little oak tree next to my house. We're getting the arborist to come in and tell us what's going to be the best thing to do with the oak tree that's growing too close to the house. And I thought it was cute when it was a sapling. I said, no, leave it there. Things you learn. There's a story, a simple story that details this pretty easily. It was originally written in the 1930s, and I'm going to read the original version, which has been changed a few times since then. A little railroad engine was employed about a station yard for such work as it was built for. How's that for old-sounding language? Pulling a few cars on and off the switches. One morning it was waiting for the next call when a long train of freight cars asked a large engine in the roundhouse to take it over the hill. I can't. That is too much of a pull for me, said the great engine built for hard work. Then the train asked another engine and another, only to hear excuses and be refused. In desperation, the train asked the little switch engine to draw it up the grade and down the other side. I think I can, puffed the little locomotive, and it put itself in front of the great heavy train. As it went on, the little engine kept bravely pulling, puffing, faster and faster. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Are you familiar with this story? It's a children's story. And pulling up the grade, going up the hill with an impossibly heavy load to carry, leaves room for doubt. There is room in our experience to say, what the heck am I doing here? What in the world am I up to here? I had a plan this weekend to clean the gutters. And I got myself a new extension ladder to go up on the roof and clean the gutters using a different technique because the arrangements around the house had changed and I couldn't use the gizmo that I'd used previously. And the gutters really needed to be cleaned. And I'm thinking about climbing up on the roof, which is not that big of a deal. And then I'm also thinking about all of the climbing gear that I have from the days that I spent as a rock climber that's sitting in the basement. And then I thought about the metaphysics, about just exactly how stupid I would feel sitting in the hospital in traction for 6 weeks if I left the climbing gear in the basement as I climbed up on the roof while preparing for a talk called Tipping Point. Come on. Come on. So it took some doing to rig all the climbing equipment, and the gutters are now clean, and Reverend Bill is back down on terra firma, and it all is going perfectly well. And there's the reminder in there as we are engaging in an activity and we want to bring something new into experience to be aware of the big picture. Everything was going along just fine, and then suddenly, or everything was going along and it was horrible and challenging and difficult, and then suddenly. And those tipping points are always available. That's the newness that's available to us. As the little engine neared the top of the grade, which had been so discouraged by the larger engines, it went more slowly. However, it kept saying, I think I can. I think I can. Reached the top, drawing on bravery, and then went down the grade, congratulating itself by saying, I thought I could. I thought I could. I knew I could. Having that faith, that determination, that ability to look conditions in the face and know the truth beyond them. I knew I could. I knew I could. When we get past that tipping point, there is the possibility for something completely different to be in our experience. And it doesn't say in the story what happens to the little engine afterwards. Maybe it goes back and continues working at the roundhouse and switching trains around and not thinking anything of it. Or maybe its position in life, its experience in the chain of events has changed. Different self-image, different understanding of the awareness of the power that's available. And we get to do that ourselves all the time. When we claim that truth and know that there is something new and possible for us, it changes something. Changes it a little bit in us, but it mostly changes it in consciousness, in the universe. Something that had never been possible before is now possible. And Troward said, principle is not bound by precedent. What happens next is not based necessarily on what's happened before. Everything that's happened before has led us up until this point. That's the path that we've been on. But that path does not necessarily continue in a straight line from where we have been until where we're headed. We are free to make a turn, to jump up, to jump down, to climb up onto the ladder or not, and do whatever it is we're going to do with our next experience. This is a great story for today because the Earth is at a tipping point. And just a couple hours ago, we went through the transformation from summer to autumn. And that happens as the Earth being on the tilt that it's on. There's always an angle that the Earth is facing the sun. And the equinox is when the equator is directly facing the sun. And when you say it that way, it's really dry and sounds unimportant. But the experience that we have before the equinox and after the equinox are different. Before the equinox, it's summer. After the equinox, it's fall. And we know that the experience of those seasons is different for us, even those of us who live in Southern California, where it's not that big of a difference. And then there's another equinox as it goes from being winter to being spring. And that feels completely different as well. If we've been enjoying the long days and the late evening light, there's a sense of loss. If we like pumpkin spiced anything, or carving pumpkins, or wearing a sweater, then there is something wonderful that's coming along. Everything was going along, and then suddenly it changed. It tips. There's a tipping point. And actually, tipping point is the title of a book from some time ago by Malcolm Gladwell. And it describes the tipping point and how things build up for a while, and then there's a possibility for a change. And then after the tipping point, everything is different. And one of the wonderful stories that he has in there is about urban blight. Because, we all live in a neighborhood, and every once in a while a tree comes down, or there's a pothole on the street, or there's, a neighbor's yard is unkempt, and there's bushes that are getting scraggly and growing over stuff. And we've seen that happen. Sometimes there's a broken window. And we've also been in neighborhoods that are blighted, where it's just everything is in disrepair. There's plants growing, weeds growing up through the cracks in the sidewalk, lots of broken windows, and it looks different than another neighborhood. And his study was, what happens as you go from one to the other? And what happens is at some point, there's a tipping point where it goes from this is a nice neighborhood with some problems to this is a blighted neighborhood and it's getting worse. And the same thing happens in the opposite direction as a neighborhood that has gotten under repaired gets found by the new people who say, hey, this used to be a really nice place. I want to go and rehab one of those houses and live there. And then other people want to do that, and then other people want to do that. And suddenly the neighborhood gentrifies, and it goes from being blighted and undesirable to now being trendy and new and expensive. And we all have stories that we tell about whether that's good or bad, and that's not really the purpose of the talk. The interesting thing is the tipping point. What happens that gets us to change? And the invitation for us is, what's the change that we're looking for? If things have been going along great and then suddenly something's not going well, to be able to identify what we think is not going well and decide what we want to have instead. And that's the transformation that we get to make in consciousness. Because when circumstances face us, we get to choose what is it that we want to be experiencing next. And that's the other part of it. I was in despair. I was in, didn't have a relationship. I had a failure. It didn't work, whatever, whatever. And then suddenly there's a change. Well, when the change happens, what do we want it to be? If we don't know that what we want to do is pull the train over the hill, then we don't know when the opportunity comes along that the challenge presents itself that this is for us. This is a co-creative conscious process. We get to choose what we're tipping into next. And the universe will offer us lots of different possibilities. Have I mentioned before that the universe is infinite? That there is no limit to the possibilities that are around us, that fill us, that are open to us? And the universe always says yes. That doesn't mean we always need to say yes. Show of hands, has anybody ever had a harebrained idea that you thought was good right at the time and then it turned out later wasn't? Yeah, yeah, we've all done that. And sometimes we catch ourselves quickly by going, what am I thinking? And sometimes it is many, many weeks or months or sometimes years later by saying, what was I thinking? How did I get myself into this fill in the blank? Job, career, relationship, car payment, whatever. If you're a computer user, operating system, what made me choose this one instead of that one? And we're always a choice. We always have those possibilities open to us. And the universe isn't going to narrow it down and say, you have to do this or you have to do that. That's the nature of the universe. One of the things that we get to talk about in practitioner classes, why do bad things happen to good people? And that's a perennial question that lots of people who are down on religion and are insisting that there's no such thing as God will bring up. Well, if there's a God, how come God lets this happen? And it's because it can happen. In a universe of infinite possibilities, it has to be possible for even the stuff that we don't like to happen. Sorry, that's the way the world works. And if there's something that's going on in the world that we like, we can lean into it. We can say this, yeah, more, please. Yes, please, and more. And if there's something going on in the world that we do not like, that's not to our liking, that doesn't feel right or fair or uplifting or joyous to us, we can take a stand and not push against it, but know what we want to have instead. Because if we're pushing against something because we don't like it, we're putting our energy into whatever it is that we don't like. If, on the other hand, we allow ourselves to pivot, that leaves room for the tipping point. Okay, it's been going along this way, and I want something different. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. What's the crest of that hill look like? What does that ride downhill feel like? What is the experience that we are inviting in going to be for us? Because the universe only has one answer. And we say, things have been going along poorly. The universe says, yes. It's like the universe commiserates with us and encourages us. It says, yes, you're a human being having a spiritual experience, and it's been sucking so far. Yes, that's possible for you. And when we set our intention that there's this different experience that I want to have of love and joy and harmony and health and vitality and uplift, of being in balance and alignment, of being able to get up on the roof and clean out the gutters and have everything be safe and successful, the universe says, yes, we get to do our part. We get to set our intention. We get to follow the guidance. It certainly would have been possible for me to say, oh, well, I'm doing this metaphysical talk tomorrow on the tipping point, and I'm going to climb up on the roof today. I don't need the climbing gear because I can do a prayer. Might have worked. Might not have needed the climbing gear. We'll never know because I brought it anyway. And by the way, notice it's been a long time since I've had the climbing gear out. So it was good to do that. So you get to choose your tipping point. You get to meet the tipping point where it is. And as we set our intention, not just saying, this is my hairy-fairy wish, but this is what I am bringing into experience. When we say, I think I can, I know I can, then that whole chain of causality unfolds and goodness starts supporting us. And that infinite creative power that creates everything starts bringing it into our experience. We are participants in the experience that we're having. And on the way down the hill, we get to say, I knew I could. I knew I could. I knew I could. So make a choice. Find a tipping point. Tip into something fabulous because you deserve it. So it is.
I am holy light. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am one with God. I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can. I am strength and love. I am strength and love. I am strength and love. I am one with God. I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can, I think I can, I think I can, I am one with God.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Amy. Beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Bill. Thank you, everybody I said, for being here, for being you. I invite you to be still. Close your eyes if you prefer, or leave them open. Leave your heart open and your mind still. Just settle in, comfortable, but alert. Taking a deep breath in, holding it right there. Sip a little more. When you're comfortable, let it go. Like letting go a bird from your hands. Taking the wings and flying to a different destination than where you're from. And that anywhere, everywhere, somewhere that you want to be. And now, meditation is simply prayer without words. Prayer of the soul, the mind, the heart. Like speaking to God with the tongue of the spirit and hear him answer with the ears of the soul. Let go of who you are and become what you can be. Open the shutters, the blinds, the windows of your heart. Let spirit flow through you, because he's already in you. That's where he makes his resting stop, in the center of your soul. Meditation is going to that place. Prayer is coming out that place. The desire in prayer is believing that it's yours. And it is yours. People ask me about predestination. They ask about the will of God for their life. I say it simply. Predestination is being in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, where I live and move and have my being. That's predestination. The will of God for our life at this very moment is something joyous, something beautiful, far beyond anything that we could sit down and wish for with our conscious mind. It's like hearing that voice saying, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, or they come into the heart of man and women. So that goodness and abundance that the Lord has created for each one of us here now. Even the truth had to be recognized, or we could become that what I said, or that we can be, because we living in time, and time is a process. Even though it's instantly, we go through the process in timeless. We go through the form and formless. So as life keep knocking on our doors, when we open the door, we celebrate life together. When I say life, I'm talking about God, Spirit, the One, always meeting us halfway. Let's do the possible and walk towards Spirit. Always there, smiling in repose, with his arms stretched to embrace his sons and daughters. It might not appear that way, but when he does appear, we should see him like he is. So as we go into the silence together, keep your heart open, flexible. An open and flexible heart will never be broken. Stay still and know that you're within it.
we are at that balance point, that tipping point. But we haven't tipped yet. We have the equinox, the quality. We can go either way. First, what are we ready to let go? What is it that we can be, have, do, or become? Be balanced with infinite possibilities. That's why it's called infinite, because anything is possible. Let us light up the world with our love. Let us be that holy light. When we open up to that, everything becomes possible. So I'm grateful for all of this, because what each one of us creates flows ever outward. The rest of us, there is no private good. Imagine what we can create when we all do the same thing, create all that divine love and light. So take a deep breath. Feel that space inside. Allow that flow. Shrug your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and toes. Just sort of reel yourself back in, come back to the room. When you're ready, open your eyes and Amy will play us another song.
Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. And love is the only truth. Love is the only truth. So lead me, love, lead me on. When I'm weary, make me strong. Lead me, love, help me grow. Lead me, love, lead me home. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth. So lead me, love, lead me on. I am ready, I think I can. I am strong, I know I can. Lead me, love, watch me grow. Yeah. Lead me, love, I am home. I am
Thank you, Amy Steinberg. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much richness today. And Joe, thank you for the prayer, and Jesus for the meditation. Wonderful. And we have a couple minutes now. If there's something that's come up for you, some new perspective on a tipping point, something that you think you can, you think you can, you think you can, you want to give voice to, this is an opportunity to go ahead and do that. Breen, and then Robin.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, everyone. And Amy, thank you so much. Always love to hear your music. Um, yeah, I've read some of the book by Gladwell, and it's just the story after story, and the way he approaches it with data-driven scenarios. It's really cool stuff, and it reminds me of the story probably most of us are aware of, a 100th monkey, and I won't dig deep into that, but it's the idea of once an idea starts to take in consciousness, at a certain point, it spreads everywhere. And I think about that, about the tipping point, and often we hear, or sometimes we think, oh, I'm just one person. What can I do? What can I do? I'm just one person. But if each one person starts to do what they're guided to do, eventually that idea spreads through consciousness. So it's just fascinating when you think about and lean in and not be discouraged by, oh, I'm just one person. If we do what we're guided to do, that good spreads into the universe, as we know. So, thank you.
Thank you. Robin and then Oliver.
Thank you. Over the last several months has been a journey of a transitional journey for me with health issues and an upcoming future move. And I was so caught up in the chaos for for quite a while that I was just focusing on what was it like, just what was I was doing for the moment, that I lost sight of the future. And I'm reminded that the future is infinite. And what I do is there's a lot to look forward to in the future. And recovering from major health issues that were insurmountable is now going to happen. And the new life that I have planned, relocating to a different town, resonated with me. It's moving back to the area, closer to the area where I grew up. And Christine mentioned in the chat about the ocean. And to me, the ocean and being beside the water is healing, it's grounding, and it's a place that gives me great healing and comfort. And I always look to the ocean, like the ebb and flow of time and moving forward. So I hope all that made sense. I am recovering from a concussion, so my wording might not be the best, but I just wanted to say thank you very much for that. And that resonates with me. And I am determined, and I have plans for the future that I never thought would be possible. I love the analogy of the little engine that could. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin. Yeah, and that's the stories that I love are the ones about, yes, I'm now recovering from insurmountable challenges. Well, okay, that kind of trivializes insurmountable, but there you go. Them's the words. Thank you. I know I can. I know I can. Jesus.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to go back a little about the tipping point. For me, it's been a couple of tipping points this month. And starting from the class that Reverend Jerry did in Muddy Waters, which I believe, I guess, when Reverend Bill go over there, he might auction another class, and hopefully we win that auction. Cause I was expecting something, but it's like blew my expectation because it was so much love and sharing with the community, and not only what he was saying, but the essence, what he was bringing. And it was a tipping point for me, that class. And then I shared that I was going on a trip next week, which is past this week that passed. I was going upstate New York. So I know, I know what I was expecting a little bit, but I always like to leave room for the infinite to bring those seeds that I planted, and I could see the flowers and I could see the trees and I could eat from the fruit of my prayer. And it was just like a tipping point, that class, that trip. And this another trip I'm taking now to Miami, which is another tipping point for me because it was not expected. But I like to always leave room for things new to come. And every time I do that, my mind gets blown away. And with this celebration too, because you think, I think that this is the best celebration, and then next week it's another best one. So it's like remarkable. And with the classes, I wasn't, believe me, I'm gonna confess this. I know y'all ain't no priest, to take confessions, but I wasn't, I was expecting something good, but it was a tremendous class. And thank you, Joe, for those sandwiches. Those sandwiches was good. So yeah, I appreciate all this love, all this abundance. And I'm not just speaking about money and things like that and more clothes, it's about that peace, that love, and that joy. That's the abundance, that I always be looking forward in my life. So thank you. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, we can tell that your life is tipping from driving cars to Florida to driving cars back from Florida, now to driving cars to Florida again. Tip in. Nia.
So I'll try to keep this like brief. First, I just wanted to say I'm really excited to see you, Amy. And the reason why is because almost a year ago, some of you may know, I was like stalking New Thought on YouTube. So I would not come online. I was just watching. And the first celebration that I saw, you were actually there and you were singing. So I was like really intrigued and with the fact like your brilliant, swift mind because you made up a song while you were there. And that kind of drew me in a little bit. And one of the songs that you were actually singing, because at that time I was at a tipping point, unsure what I wanted to do, how I was going to do things. And I wrote it down because I had to find it, but I wrote it down and I kept it with me. I don't know the name of the song, but in the song you said there is a power in a seed reminding itself how to become a tree. And I wrote that down. I found like a piece of paper. I wrote it down and I kept it for and I just noticed it was September 24th, 2023. So almost a year ago. So I just wanted to say that I kept this. This was like encouraging, motivating to me. And then when I saw you on there, I'm like, there she is. She hasn't been back since. So I had this. So I just had to say that. So
Thank you, Nia. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, my day is made.
Well, there you go. And you had told me when we reconnected that you'd stop doing that song, and then it came back into the repertoire. So thank you for that.
The song Power?
Was it Power?
Yeah, Power. I mean that's New Thought. That was written. I mean, that's one of my favorites to sing. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's called Power, by the way, and I loved your share. Thank you so much. That song,
Okay.
you can find it anywhere.
So we're going to do the offering, and then Amy is scheduled to sing a Ricky Byers song, but we'll see if that actually happens now.
Yeah, I think we should sing Power, obviously.
Jane.
Okay. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donation button on the website to make a donation by Zelle, credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on screen, unmute, and we will say the affirmation together. I live
I live in an
abundant
abundant
universe.
universe.
I'm
I
one
am
with the
one with the infinite source of all good.
I'm a center
I
of
am a
conscious
center of conscious
prosperity.
prosperity.
I
I
enjoy the
enjoy
richness
the
of life.
richness of life.
I
I
bless my
bless my
gift.
gift.
I
I share my gift
with gratitude and joy. I know that
I
as I
know
give,
that as I give,
you receive.
You
So
receive.
it is.
And so it is.
and so it is. And Amy's got one more song for us.
This is for you. There's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making a you or a me. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency. There's a power inside that power, inside that power. It's love, 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 love. Hey, I think there might be a little delay on the sound, and I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get a good setup here. You can just listen, I guess. You can feel it revealed when an open, broken heart begins to be healed. It breaks like the sky when a long, dark night starts spinning on the wheel of the world. Watch it rise. Out of the ashes comes another day, a bright light shining through your eyes. So much surprise every time we fall in love, 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 love. I think I can, I think I can, I know I can. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can. There's a force in the fist, but when unclenched it ceases to exist. It shifts into light. So much freedom releases from the wrist. So insist on bliss, 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 insist on bliss and love, 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 la da 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 da, da boo da ba ba boo 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 boo. I think I can, I know I can, like the engine that could, little engine that could. I'm propelled by good, I feel it, it pulls me up that mountain, up that hill, and I will not fall off the roof when I'm cleaning my gutters. No, 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 I'm not gonna fall off the roof when I'm cleaning my gutters, because I know that I am good. I am at the tipping point. I am making a choice. I know that I am right where I'm supposed to be. I am free to be that little engine that could, oh, beep, beep, bop, wada, bop, 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 boom. So there's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become that tree. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency, and there's a power inside that power, inside that power. You know what it is. You know what it is. It's love. Oh, it's love.
Thank you, Amy Steinberg. And that love is coming right back at you. I love having you here. That was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Butchering up your song with my talk. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us close with another cacophony. Go ahead and unmute your microphone so you can repeat after me. There is only love.
There is only love.
I am that love.
I am that love.
There is a power.
There is a
power.
That power is me.
That power is me.
Don't get it
And
twisted.
so it is.
And
So it is.
Yeah.
That